Hello, my name is Mac Headley, and I've focused my studies for the last good many years on 18th century furniture decoration, and there's an interesting quality that runs through most of the decorative arts of that period, and it's an inclination to study nature and borrow from nature in order to give some life to their furniture. And this might take a lot of different forms. Back here on the shelf, we've got a number of examples. Sometimes things are just proportioned on the scale of natural objects, or they'll be using animal forms. Here we have a hairy paw foot, which is something that's not very common, shows up on more elaborate pieces, and a bit simpler foot, your typical claw and ball foot, and a couple variations on that here. Now, they're also borrowing from nature. Flowers and leafage will also show up in lots of carved decoration, and shells carved on things. And today, what we're going to be focusing on is a shell carving, and the symmetry and the balance of a shell. The long linear qualities and broadening curves are very eye-catching things, and it has a very good use of light and shadow, which is important. And there's some good exercise in tool usage here too, in combining your tools to create this quick and then ever broadening curves. Now, the shells, when you actually see them applied to furniture, are usually fairly stylized. And back here on this collage of shells we have on the cover of this magazine, these are shells from the drawers of lowboys and highboys, primarily New England shells. And then here on the knee carving, here this is a Virginia shell from the 1740s, very strong in English quality. And then up here is a Pennsylvania style lowboy, and this piece has a shell carving on the knee and a shell carving on the drawer as well. Now, down here on the close-up of this drawer, we have the concave shell, and then the leafage is applied to the surface of the drawer. And then we have another shell yet. Here, a convex shell carved into the solid of the crest rail of the chair. Lots of details to do. They're quite a commitment to get all of those things in the first time. This is of a Philadelphia armchair. And down here at the seat rail is a shell that has been carved and then applied to the seat rail. It's a bit less intimidating to carve this while it's still a separate part. And here, a pattern of the shell we're going to be giving a demonstration of. And then on the mantel are the series of stages we'll go through in developing this particular carving. Down on the right are three laid out across the length of the board. If you have several chairs to do, half a dozen chairs, it's nice to lay them out and be able to set up the design on one and then project that over to the others. These are ready for band sawing out. The next is sawn out just out the outer perimeter and preparation for our third stage where we've backgrounded the outer perimeter of the shell. Now, the fourth stage is developing the surface sculpture of this piece. That one is ready then to define the wings, its flat portion up by the hinge of the shell, and we've also drawn in the definition between the concave convex section. Next, we are moving to using our parting tool to cut in the definition between the convex concave surfaces, and then on to defining and actually carving the convex concave surfaces. And the surface of the shell is now reflecting light and developing shadows, so it gives the shell a sense of dimension. And here in our final shell, we've added the final detailings down on the wing portion by the hinge of the shell, and there has been a very light sanding on these surfaces. And you want to be careful if you're doing any sanding to be sure to preserve the crisp edges defining between the convex concave portion.